How we doing, everyone? The NFL season's over. Mahomes did it again, unfortunately. But that means today, the offseason officially starts, and the Bucs have a lot to do. So today we're going to talk about their top 5 positional needs for this upcoming offseason with a few caveats. Caveat number one, we're going to assume Baker Mayfield stays. He's stated he wants to stay, and the Bucs have made it clear with the hiring of Liam Cohen that they would like him to stay as well. I'm going to assume they make that work. Jason Light is going to do what he does. Boom. Caveat number 2, Mike Evans. Sort of the same situation. Bucs want him to stay. I think Mike Evans wants to end his career in Tampa Bay. He just wants to get paid what he deserves, and the Bucs need to take care of that. So we'll assume Jason Light gets that done. Number 3, Antoine Winfield Jr. I think they'll franchise tag him and work out a deal before the season starts. And number 4, Lavonte David, hopefully does not retire. I don't think Lavonte is going to go to a different team or anything like that at this point of his career. He's 34 years old, still playing at a high level, which obviously is not getting talked about enough because he plays for the Bucs and he is Lavonte David. Forever underrated. I'll never get it, but we know this. So getting into number 5 on our list is going to be inside linebacker. Just spoke about Lavonte David. Get live 45. Did not get live this season. So he is going to be going somewhere else. Hopefully he comes down to earth a little bit with the price that he's looking for, because he's going to struggle if he does not do that. I wish him the best. Love his attitude. And obviously that 2021-2020 season was special from Devin. And I wish we just got to see that play out for an extended amount of years throughout his career. But sometimes things just don't work out the way we want. So behind Lavonte David is Servassier Dennis, a rookie from last year who only started in 1 game this year, but played pretty well. I like what I see from him. Like what I saw in training camp. Seems like a athletic, well-rounded linebacker. Smart. That's what you want to see. So he'll be a good, just a backup for now. And once Lavonte decides to move on to the next chapter of his life, I think we'll be good there. But to the other linebacker spot, it's just KJ Britt. And KJ Britt is a good run stopper. He's a thumper. He's physical. Love that about KJ. You got to give him his props. 5th round pick, ended up starting over Devin White to end the season. Got to give him his props. But KJ, 5th round pick, he's going to have some limitations, and those limitations are in pass coverage. You saw it. I'm going to speak about this game a lot throughout this video because I feel like this game exposed our needs big time. And KJ Britt, you saw him in pass coverage, and it was a lot of Amon-Ra sneaking behind him or Laporta in front of him. That's just not his thing. So I don't think they'll draft a inside linebacker, that high. And we don't really have the money to pick up someone who's going to be a clear and ahead type guy over KJ Britt. So it'll probably have to be a rotational guy who's probably a little bit better in pass coverage than KJ Britt and maybe play a situational type thing. And I'll have to go from there. We've gotten used to the luxury of having 2, where is that? There we go, 45, Lavonte. A lot of teams don't have that luxury. When Get Live was playing live, they were locking things down the entire game. But that's just not the case anymore, and we might fall into that group that just don't have that luxury anymore. Going to need number 4 now is tight end. Obviously, it's tough. The Bucs have drafted tight ends the last 2 years. Cade Otton in the 4th round, Payne Durham in the 4th round. As for Payne Durham, we didn't really see too much of him this season. When he did get targeted, I liked what I saw for the most part. He made some really tough, nice catches. And Cade Otton, I feel like we've just seen... I feel like he's a high floor, low ceiling type of guy. Like, I don't think he's going to get much better than he is right now. Not a great run blocker, but he'll get open. He'll make some catches. He'll drop some too. And it's just, he's not a threat that defenses are scared of at all. Nobody's looking at K. Dotton and making game plans around him. It's just not happening. And you look at the best teams in the league, look at the playoff teams this year. The Chiefs, Kelsey, 49ers, Kittle, the Lions, Laporta, the Ravens, Mark Andrews, Cowboys, Jake Ferguson is a real nice tight end. Even the Eagles, Dallas Goedert. You need a good tight end. It's not sexy. A lot of people wouldn't like that if the Bucs drafted one early, but I just think it's a really important position nowadays, and it opens up so much for your offense, and we saw that with Gronkowski, him going up the middle, commanding so much attention from the defense, leaving openings on the outside, and that offense 2021 season. Yeah. Positional need number 3, we are going to go with safety/secondary. Ryan Neal didn't work out. Team-friendly contract. And I thought, pairing him with Antoine Winfield Jr., we could have something there, but Antoine's the only one that held up his side of the bargain. Ryan Neal did not. There were plenty of lowlights from this season. Both Lions games, Falcons game at home, wasn't pretty from Ryan Neal. Met him at training camp, real nice, upbeat, positive guy, but it just didn't work out. It's a business, and probably going to move on there. If he does come back, it'll be on a really cheap contract, and I guarantee the Bucs are not going to go into next season with him being starter. As for Zion McCollum, he obviously started that game at safety against the Eagles out of nowhere. Nobody expected that, and in his first game at safety, he played pretty well. So we'll see what the future holds for Zion if he ends up just being athletic enough of a guy to play safety and corner when asked, or if he'll transition to corner, or if he'll transition to safety or stay at corner. Either way, there will be a hole. If he goes to safety, there's a hole at corner. If he stays at corner, there's a hole at safety. So there's both needs there. We'll just call it the secondary, especially with the made of glass corners that we have. They're solid when they're healthy, but when they're healthy is not often. Now 1 and 2, it's really just a 1A, 1B. So 1B will go interior offensive line. Robert Hainsey, he started for us the last 2 seasons. Just kind of thrown in that situation because of the Ryan Jensen situation. Robert Hainsey is not a natural center. He's more of a guard. And he's just making do with the situation that was put in front of him. And respect him for it, but it's just hasn't been good enough. You saw a lot this season where pressure would come up the middle and Baker starts, stutter stepping and pump faking, and just he gets knocked off his spot. And when he was trying to learn Dave Canales' offense, it wasn't aesthetically pleasing, and the result wasn't either. So there's the center position. I'd love to get a guy like Jackson Powers Johnson in the draft. It's crazy how much he's flying up. He was, projected second round and then late first round, and now I see mock drafts with him in the teens. So I don't think that's happening, but a man can dream. So left guard, it's not looking hot either. Filer was terrible. He's going to be gone. Stinney came in, give him his props. The run game improved when Stinney came in. But as the season went on, especially that real end of the season, Aaron Stinney did not play well. And the Bucs need to find upgrades at this interior offensive line to make Baker more comfortable and give him more time to find Mike Evans down the field, let Chris Godwin's route develop, be able to sit in the pocket and take a deep shot to Trey Palmer without trying to be off his back foot and throw it. So it's an important thing. Offensive line, clearly the trenches, important, and that carries on to this 1A, which is edge. Like I said, I feel like that Lions game really exposed our needs. Interior offensive line was one of them. They were getting pressure on Bake. plenty throughout the game, whether it be from a blitz or just from a 4-man pass rush. Baker didn't really have an extended period of time in the game where he was truly comfortable. Edge, that was just clear as day a weakness, and especially with the Lions, they have Sewell on one side and Decker on the other. Jared Goff could have opened up a lunchbox, ate a sandwich, ate some Doritos in the pocket, like, except for a few pressures from Kalijah Cansey, dude was chilling, and that can't happen. It can't happen, because then Todd Bowles has to blitz, and the Lions know the blitz is coming, and they know how to counter that, and they did that and beat us. So Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, I think we've all accepted at this point, he's not what we hoped he would be when we drafted him with the 32nd pick in the draft. I don't think he's going anywhere, but solid rotational piece. We know Todd Bowles likes to rotate that defensive line, keep guys fresh, and I think that role suits him well. So, not a starter, though. It's not a starter. I wish it worked. He's an athletic guy, but it just hasn't. So, on the other side, Shaq Barrett, this one hurts even worse because it's just a tough situation. What happened in the last year plus for Shaq Barrett is probably wise in this situation. The Achilles injury, it takes a toll on you, especially when you're not some young guy on your first contract in the NFL. He's further along, and that Achilles really hurts you even more, especially when you're trying to bend and do all these pass rush moves. It hurts. So he knows it. I think he's going to get cut. You saw him in that post-game interview. He's like, I know how much I'm getting paid, and I know the production that I put up, and it just doesn't match. So he's making a good amount of money, and like I said earlier, it's a business, and I love Shaq Barrett. Bucs fans love Shaq Barrett. He's had so many memorable moments with this team. That 2019 season where he just went insane. That 2020 season, especially in the Super Bowl, what he had like 8 pressures maybe on Mahomes. He was balling for us, and that was an amazing pickup by Jason Light, especially for that initial contract. He showed up. Shout out to Shaq Barrett. Got paid. Played well. That injury really hurts, and it's tough to come back from. So, I mean, look at the shirt now. It's falling apart. This defensive Super Bowl shirt. Still got Levante. Still got Vita, but Get Live and Shaq Barrett. Yeah, we got to find upgrades. And it's probably all going to likely come from the draft because we do not have much money to work with after we sign a Baker Mayfield, a Mike Evans, a possibly Levante David, who I don't think is going to command too much, but we respect Levante David. We're not going to give him garbage. And Antoine Winfield Jr., back up the Brinks truck, please. But that's going to be it for me. Those are my top 5 positional needs for this offseason. Once again, inside linebacker, tight end, safety / secondary, interior offensive line, and an edge rusher. Please get someone who can get after the quarterback and knock that guy off his spot. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below if you agree with this little list I have, especially that edge and interior offensive line. I feel like those just have to be addressed with high picks in the draft. Once again, thank you. Please like, subscribe, and go Bucs.